Let's now talk politics. This is one you definitely want to brace up for. Yes, we're joined on the program, as you can see, by a former Minister of Police Affairs, a former member of the PDP BOT, founding member of the People's Democratic Party. Alhaji Adamu Waziri is our guest on the program, joining us from our Abuja studio. It's good to see you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel. It's a long time.
Well, it has been a long time. Coyote here, though. But your move just some days ago shocked a lot of people because, I mean, founding member of the People's Democratic Party, member of the Board of Trustees, you were minister under Yaradua, Minister of Police Affairs under Goodluck Jonathan. I mean, if they're counting people that will be last men standing in the PDP, you'd probably be on a list of 1 to 10. But here you are, now a member of the ADC. I know you put out a statement, you cited the reasons, but some are saying, is there like a northern plan to unseat President Bola Tinubu come 2027 with all of the moves we're seeing, particularly in the north now, Alhaji?
Good morning, Emmanuel. Please, you can do better with that question. We are talking about the presidency of Nigeria that is supposed to deliver good governance so that our people, Nigerians from all nooks and corners of the country, will find some solace. It's not a question of the North and South. At my age, I have interacted with a lot of people from the South. And the current leadership is not reflective of the competencies available in the South. So I am not going to be held down by what some Nigerians reduce the issue, the serious issue facing this country, to North and South, Muslim, Christian, PDP, APC, and the rest of it. Let us focus on what are the issues bedeviling this country. And the issues bedeviling this country are born out of bad leadership, misgovernance, corruption, etc., etc. So we are looking for anybody from any part of the country who is going to bring some mitigation so that the Nigerian people will now feel that they belong to this country and they deserve a better leadership.
Well, I'm glad we've gotten that out of the way, Alhaji Waziri, because there had been a lot of talks, and I'm sure you're aware of those talks. So it's important to ask you that question frontally. If that will put the issues to rest, well, it's left to be seen. So let's come back to you, your trajectory, and what you describe as bad governance. I know that there was some response from support groups in your state who had said, well, you've enjoyed every blessing under the PDP, you chose to leave. I think even the chairman of your ward left with you as well. But the support group said, well, there's still PDP, you've not taken over the machinery in terms of the ADC taking over. But let's speak pointedly to the issues of bad governance, which you refer to. From where you sit, how bad are things? And what are the solutions that the ADC or the coalition is bringing to the table specifically now? Elijah.
No, we are in a political environment. In fact, let's say it ought to be in a democratic political environment where the people will have an opportunity to pass a verdict on the way they are being led by its current leadership. And Nigeria is a community will not progress unless it has got the right people doing the right thing at the right time in terms of leadership and governance. What we are having now is a negativity of all those good things we are expecting from a democratic leadership. Therefore, I am championing, among many other patriotic Nigerians, to pursue the path whereby come 2027, the current government, the current leadership of Nigeria will be replaced by a more competent, more nationalistic, less corrupt, less tribalistic, less nepotic person to bring some measure of hope and good governance in Nigeria. Nobody other than a Nigerian or other than Nigerians can turn around the fortunes of this country. I have been involved in governance from 1998 to date. And I know what it is. At my age, I've been through tribulations. But what we're experiencing is a catastrophe of enormous proportions that is happening in this country. We want a cohesive Nigeria. We want a united Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where our children will submit themselves to nationhood. You know, what is happening now is amply captured by one of your own, Sheun, in a very terse and bull's-eye advice to President Bola Tinubu on this media, whereby he was advising for some redress of what is happening. There is also the very, very pungent and heart-touching sermon by Pastor Tunde Bakari. Of recent, a so-called somebody who is even allied to the government, Rabiu Konkoso, was also advising the government that look back, look inward, and see that the country is not what it's supposed to be. There is general feeling of disaffection in Nigeria. All people of goodwill must rise because we have to save this country from misgovernance. We have to save this country from corruption. We have to save this country from nepotic administration. These are the issues that we need to focus ourselves. And the current dispensation allows political parties to come together, allows politicians to come together. There is no way you can replace these ills unless you have a leadership.
If you can hear me. Yes, you know, the concern being raised, I think what I hear from you is more of unity. You're calling for unity. Some persons will say if the people that are accusing Bola Tinubu, the president, of nepotism, of maybe appointing his people, as it is said, that Muhammadu Buhari is as guilty as well when they looked at some of his appointment, where the word then was his appointment was a lot lopsided. So it looks like people take rounds for lopsidedness. But what is more important to Nigerians beside the issue of aggregating our interests to have a sense of unity is the issue of the economy. So let's point it, in your words, bullseye. We are yet to hear in clear terms how the coalition, that's why we're picking responses at least from individual members of the coalition, since there's no aggregated policy direction yet from the coalition. And that's why I'm asking you the question about, you have said that there's a lot going wrong in Nigeria as far as the management of our country is concerned, i.e. the economy. What alternative idea in terms of policy direction of the economy are you putting on the table? The president's direction is as clear as crystal. The impact of that direction, we're all feeling it. What other alternative do you have?
I think I'm talking to Emmanuel.
Yeah, this is Jeffrey. This is not Emmanuel.
Yes. Okay. Now, let me start from the beginning of your question. You referred to the administration of President Buhari and now to the administration of Bola Tinubu. All my political life, I have not been part of that administration. My political identity has been different. All the two administrations you mentioned were APC or are APC. I have been in the PDP as an opposition element to the APC administration. I am now in ADC as another opposition element to the policies of the APC. So, both President Buhari administration and Bola Tinubu's administration are not politically aligned to my own thoughts. Having said so, let me say that we have been suffering from the economic mismanagement of Nigeria from 2015 to date. And all this has been under the APC administration. PDP have tried to challenge it. Over some time, it got compromised because the leadership got compromised. And now we have cobbled together, coming together of key political opposition elements in the country to birth the ADC. And if an administration that has been there for 10 years have not given you hope, I think the ADC will require you to give us the 4 weeks to finish installing our structures nationwide, and then when we come to formally launch the party at a chosen date, at a chosen place, we are going to unfold our manifesto, we are going to unfold the structure, we are going to unfold the key components of the leadership. Please,
Mr. Waziri, my apologies. My apologies, sir. My apologies, because I was very deliberate in my question. I did agree that whilst housekeeping is ongoing with the ADC, and Nigerians are in a hurry to know what policy direction the ADC will take, what we're left with right now is individual position in terms of what they would do if they were in charge, which is why I'm asking you, not the ADC. You're a member of the coalition. So I want to ask you a direct question. What will you do if you were to propose to the ADC in terms of policy direction on how to manage our debt, in power sector? Will the ADC bring back subsidy in one form or the other? These are direct questions.
Well, these are direct questions that I will take the Fourth Amendment because it's not my bit to answer it. These are going to be policies of the party of which I am a member that has got a leadership, that has got a pool of experts that have worked and are working to bring about our policy manifesto that will show the difference between the ADC and the two administrations of the APC. Nigerians should be in a hurry in telling the APC that after 10 years of administration, we have been a lot worse than when you started. That's what Nigerians should be doing, not asking the ADC that is just barely 12 days old, oh, how are you going to? We are going to reverse a couple of things that the APC administration has inflicted on Nigeria.
Well, I'd like to believe and say that on behalf of Nigerians,
we have a leadership that will make references to this thing officially.
Well, Alhaji, I'd like to believe and say on behalf of Nigerians that there shouldn't really be a timeline to asking a party that is presenting itself as a credible alternative how it would go about transforming the fortunes of the country and giving them a better deal if indeed it is positioning itself to do so. But let's talk about what should be within your purview to speak to if the alternative policies are not necessarily within your purview, and which would be the presentation of the candidacy of the adopted political party. That's the biggest talking point right now as far as the coalition is concerned. And so there are interests that have come through, that have publicly declared. But for those who are saying the coalition wants to advance a northern candidate, that this is a sort of an attempt to grab power back by the northern political elite, what then happens for those who believe that President Muhammadu Buhari, former president, had completed his own 8-year tenure, and it is only fair for a southern candidate to be presented this time around to complete perhaps the 4-year tenure that is, due to the South? What are your thoughts on this?
I desist from reducing myself to North and South politics. I am for a Nigerian who would bring about some cohesion, who will stamp out corruption, who will penalize corrupt practices, who will not be nepotic, who will redress the economic hardship Nigerians are facing. You see, the press and politicians should espouse those things that hold this country together. You know, all this recourse to bifurcating Nigeria to North and South, Muslims and Christians, are not facilitative of national cohesion. And it is very unfair to some of us who has served in public office this country. There are people, and it's there in the public domain, all these issues of how many years this has done, this has done, this has not done. I mean, I have decided to live above that, and I will do that. And there is no amount of questioning that will allow me to depart from my choosing path, that I am a Nigerian. I want all of us to be Nigerians. If we are talking on ethnicity, on regionalism, we are not going to go anywhere, because what is happening is not a regionalistic expression of what constitutes Nigeria. We are just having somebody, some people exercising bad governance that we need to redress for this country to move forward.
Well, it's still less than 2 years, but some will say that's very little time in that sense. But I want you to speak to then what you'll be looking at in terms of how the coalition shapes up. Because whether you like it or not, a lot of Nigerians are watching to see. They've already seen the names, right? But they're waiting to see how the coalition shapes up. In terms of the ADC, you're going to maintain the constitution, I imagine. The policy direction, is it going to be socialist? I'm just using big terms. Is it communist or whatever? What will be the ideology? A lot of people suspect that with all of these big names, it might be really tough to come to a decision that will bind everybody. Because, I mean, there's a whole former vice president, Atiku Abubakar. There is former presidential candidate Peter Obi. There is Rotimi Amechi. There's Nasir El-Rufai, and all of those big names. So in terms of the shaping up, do you think that all of these egos can be clipped under one party?
Yes. I want to respond to you by saying these big names you are talking about, please make it complementary. They are not only big names, they are competent big names who have got a record of service. And if they are competent and they have competencies, be assured, all these things will be pulled together to provide the kind of aspirations the ADC will provide for the redress of the ills bedeviling this country. That is one. Two, if we are asking for Nigerians to give us 3 months, the Bola Tinubu administration is asking for Nigerians to give us another 2 years. what are the records? The 2 years of Bola Tinubu has inflicted severe pains on Nigeria. That's why someone are saying, if you give them another 2 years, it will be a catastrophe. So, if you are ready to wait for 2 years, we are saying don't wait for 2 years. Give us the next 2 years so that we can change this country. I mean,
Alhaji, just to be clear, when you say give us the next 2 years, pardon me to butt in quickly, this government has 4 years constitutionally. So are you planning to still take the remaining 2 years? Or maybe I didn't get you correctly.
No, if I have the democratic means to remove this government in tomorrow, I will remove this government, if I have the democratic means. But I don't have the democratic means, which means I have to wait for 2 years to do so. And like Bola, is it Mr. Onanuga, we are not toppling this government. We are going to democratically remove this government. It is cheap blackmail to say people are planning to oust this government. No, we are challenging this government, on the democratic process and to remove it. If I can do that, if there is a way that constitutionality and democracy allows us to remove this government tomorrow, we will do it.
Well, Alhaji, quite interesting times we find ourselves in, and here you are in the ADC. We'll see how things shape up for the coalition in the coming days. But we have to thank you so much for your time. I know we had to bring you quite early. We've been speaking with a former Minister of Police Affairs, former PDP BOT member, who is now a member of the ADC, Alhaji Adamu Waziri. Thank you for your time and wish you the very best.
Thank you. I look forward to meeting you again.
Certainly. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we're going to bring you a story that will inspire you. They used to be internally displaced persons, but guess what? They're now lawyers, have been called to bar. Stay with us, we'll be right back.